Hello everyone, how's it going? My name's Impeccable and today we are growing our factory. Not necessarily the factory that you currently see, heck no, this is our starter factory and I would like to assume we are now done with this, considering we are about almost 400 hours into our playthrough. But instead I want to talk a little bit more about our rocket fuel factory, which are the main focus for today's stream and probably for the next couple months as well. However, before I get into that, there is one thing that I do want to try and do first, and I haven't actually talked about for a while, and that it involves our biofuel facility, which I believe if I open up the map here, if I remember how to do it, it's somewhere down over here. We have got quite a lot of liquid biofuel, although I don't actually know if I've got it here or over there. I guess I'll find out very quickly. And you notice how I didn't choose to do my intro next to this hub, by the way, because of the music that's in the background. Yeah, it's not annoying. I can turn it off, but it can sometimes be a little bit loud. Okay, so none of our stuff's actually down there. I suppose the very first thing that I want to try and do is move all of our leaves, woods, and biomass from here over to that facility. So let's do that right now. I don't actually know where I've got all of this saved up. Have I got any here? No. In theory, it should all be down here at the very end if I've saved it correctly. Oh, okay, fantastic. Great, is that it? I thought I would have had a lot more than that, but you know what? If that is the case, then that is not too bad. I have actually got to organize the storage area eventually. I am not doing it today because that would take way too long and I don't want to bore you guys to complete death. So I will be doing that another day. It's not a massive drama. So, I might actually want to switch out here to my jetpack as well. Lovely. Hope everyone's doing good, by the way. If you are new to the channel, I am live on Satisfactory quite a bit. So, feel free to stick around if you guys enjoy Satisfactory or if you end up enjoying today's live stream. Why are you yellow? Not enough iron? That's okay. Well, it's not actually okay, but I don't massively care. It should be fine. It should be okay. Hopefully. I don't really need too much more of the biofuel, if I'm honest, or biomass. We're kind of doing okay with it, the way it is. So I believe this right here is where we package all of our biofuel. Yeah, that comes out of there. Okay. And you, in theory, should have all of our solid biofuel. As of right now, I've got 0, which is completely fine. I wasn't really expecting to have much, if I'm completely honest. I can get rid of that. And I suppose what I'm going to want to try and do over here now is get rid of all this. And then add in a couple constructors. This way, we can then turn all of our leaves and woods into solid biofuel, then into packaged liquid biofuel. That's basically how it's going to work. It's nothing too overcomplicated, luckily. There we go. Let's start with... yeah, let's start with this. Why not? This won't be the most efficient factory, but I'm not really massively concerned about that. I am in absolutely no rush to be producing any of this. But it's still nice to have, just so I know that I've done it. And we're going to have one more of these over here. Okay, I can't actually seem to place that one down there. Let's try that again. There we go. If it's facing the right way, that would most likely help. I think you might have caught it in yesterday's live stream. I'm actually planning on releasing a video this Saturday, and it's probably quite an important upload. It would explain the course of the channel over the next, well, 3 years, really. I have talked about it briefly. It's not really something I've talked about too much, though. Yeah, I suppose it's relatively important. There we go. Making sure we are live here, because sometimes I'll go live. There we go. Yes, okay, good. Sometimes I'll go live, but it's like, oh, no, I haven't actually pressed the button yet. Great. Solid biofuel. I am probably going to get a bunch of power shards in here. Again, it's a very temporary project. I don't really mind having some power shards here. Also, I might as well chuck you into there. Why not? And we can produce... Is that it? Just 150 per minute? There's also one more thing that I am going to need here. And that is our sloop of summer. Wait. Control C. Control V. There we go. And automatically, this should be adding in all of our shards and sloop. Yes, it is. Fantastic. Okay, so you're going from 300... Oh, no, it is 300. Yeah, of course now, because we have got the summer sloop. Fantastic. That is far better. A very small change right there. I can probably re-equip my jetpack here now as well, or my hover pack even. Because, I mean, it's a hover pack. Might as well if I can use it. Oh, nice, because that's where I was looking, clearly. There we go. I've also got the chat on the screen now as well, and I'm not really doing a webcam stream today. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I normally only do webcam stuff when I'm not doing Satisfactory. I don't know why. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, I don't know why, but... Oh, jeez. That's the way I've been doing things for a while now. They changed the way that conveyor belts work, because never before when I used to look here and aim here would the conveyor belt snap all the way around the machine. Is that new? If so, can I turn it off? I'd rather it go where I'm looking rather than where it thinks I want to go, which is often not where I want it to go. Oh well. Right, so let's go with... Wow, you make 1,500? Damn. Okay. Fair enough. Then let's go for some leaves around here as well. You can actually make 300, that's not too bad. Lovely. So yeah, you can just stay there. I might as well upgrade you. In fact, can I? No, you're the highest I can go. That's completely fine. This will eventually overflow into here. It might take some time. I can, in theory, split it as well, but I'm not really that fast. As long as it works, then that's what I really want it to do. Like I was just saying before, efficiency for this particular build, I'm not massively fast about. If I was in desperate need of just thousands of packaged liquid biofuel, I probably would try and rush it, but if I'm honest, I don't really need to. And you can then come over here. And the good thing about doing all of this now is I'm just going to keep it the way it is currently. Like, none of this ever has to be tweaked ever again, which is fantastic, of course. Now, you're going to slowly start to fill up here. Fantastic. And you can only handle 80 solid biofuel per minute. And we are producing, I believe it's 300 each. It is 300 each. So again, that's eventually just going to load into these industrial storage containers, which I'm not massively concerned about. So that's completely fine. Now, regarding all of this, I can probably upload you. The rest of you is completely fine as of right now. What I then want to try and do, actually, I can, there we go, is try and find the start, there we go, of this. So I'm actually going to get rid of all of this here for a second. But not here. I've actually got a little bit of a trick. Essentially, I have got 116,000 packaged liquid biofuel right here. If I was to get rid of all of this and transport it to my main storage area, I'm going to have to go here and back, tons of times. So what I'm going to do instead is hover over the industrial storage container dismantle filter, but not actually click it like that. I'm still going to hold on to it. And then what I'm going to try and do is go back to my hub, and then when I'm right next to the area I want to try and actually get these items to, I'm only then going to press the dismantle button. This way it means I can have my personnel storage container right next to where I want my items to be, rather than having to continuously go back and forwards. Luckily this is a fairly short distance, so it doesn't really affect me massively. But let's say, for example, we were 2 biomes across. This will save you so much time and hassle. It's just do this, essentially. Welcome, Maga. Hope that you're doing good. Welcome to the stream. Welcome. And this is where I want it to go. Now, in theory, if I turn around, there we go. Holy, there's a lot of it. Right, let's see how this is going to go. In fact, firstly, I suppose, everything that I don't need for now can just get chucked over here. Great. There we go. I've known that for for a while. Ever since that feature was in the game. I'm actually unsure how many of these I'm going to need. I'll do 2 layers for now. I don't think it's going to be more than 2. Although having said that, there was quite a fair bit, wasn't there? So that's But again, this could have taken me easily 20 minutes to get all the items from where I just was to here. And we've done it in the space of minutes. In fact, no, that would have taken a lot longer than 20 minutes, I'd say. Either way, I don't have to do it, so I don't really care how long it would have taken. How are we actually doing for fuel? I need 100. Okay, well, there we go. This is a pretty relaxing start to the stream. After I get this done, I then preferably want to try and head back to where I just was, place down the storage containers again, and then continue with our rocket fuel expansion, which is rather exciting. Oh. Okay, maybe not you lots. Okay, wow, it seems like I am going to need more than 2 rows. Fair enough. I actually didn't think I would. Let me just make sure I haven't got any. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Now there should be nothing else in here that isn't packaged liquid biofuel. Hopefully. Up by 2. Thank you to everyone. There. Thank you very much to everyone that tuned into yesterday's stream, by the way. I know it wasn't Satisfactory related, so a lot of people just chin it off and don't even consider watching the stream, which is, yeah, it is what it is. But to everyone that did watch it, thank you. I do appreciate that. Surely it's not more than 3 rows, is it? It can't be. Oh, my days actually might be. Holy moly, how much more is there? Oh, there's still tons. Okay, maybe I've got a bit too much. I know it's taken me until now to realize, but I think I actually might have a bit too much. How do I even store this? Right, if I go up like that. Up again. Okay, this should be enough. I hope. Is this completely filled up? No, okay, now it is. Get the computer fixed. Oh dear. Is it alright now? I mean, to be fair, a medium day is better than a bad day. At least it wasn't a bad day. Oh, there's actually more as well. Holy moly. To be fair, I have got over 100,000. I don't know what I was expecting. Even though I am still a little bit surprised. A little bit discombobulated. There we go. Okay, no, not you. Just get rid of you. I'll also get my torch on here as well. Since it's always nice and dark around here. It's actually quite a nice little storage system. Just having all the boxes like this. I didn't really think about doing it like this before. But now, I don't mind it. It's given me some ideas for the future, at least. Oh, how is there still more? What? You've got to be kidding me. Come on, last one, please. What? Look at the amount of it. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, we've only got a couple more left to go. Good. Bloody hell. I'm definitely going to have to sink some of this. There is absolutely no way I'm going to keep all of this on me. No chance. How about now? That's not too bad. We'll take that. Look at the amount of it. So in total, what was it? 116,000. I think that's what we said, wasn't it? Although it might be a little bit more now. 118,000. Yeah, that's a fair bit. That is a fair bit. Anyway, I don't need to come back to that now until at least the end of the episode. So that's good. All of this stuff here, other than my jetpack, I can just dump. So that is what I'm going to do. Back into that. There we go. And again, all of this I will sort out another day. Not really too important as of right now, though. So let's go. I've still got a bunch of plastic and rubber here, right? No, you're empty. You still got a bit of rubber there, though. Okay. Yeah, I can sort that out again. Not today. Too much else to do today. So off camera, I did tweak a few things here and there regarding our wall. But now I actually want to try and place it down. So that should be relatively exciting, because now I'm going to find out, is it actually going to work? Which is, not scary. No, not scary at all. Anyway. Where are the storage boxes that I had originally? Also, I am definitely going to need this again, aren't I? A quick little switcheroo here. Nice. Here we are. Lovely. Now, there was more somewhere. But I've got no idea where that actually is. I've placed it down in a place. Might as well take that. Sure. Also, I realized, what was it, last night? That I'm actually feeling sick. Because, you know that feeling when you're uncomfortable for so long that you just get used to being uncomfortable? And then finally when you experience a little bit of comfort, you sort of realize you might have not been, like, in a very good way. I have essentially now realized that. And I think I'm actually quite sick. But I didn't realize I was sick until I, again, experienced the comfort a little bit. And now my body's like, hey, we don't appreciate you being in that situation. Which is fine, it is what it is. Oh well. Okay, let's come down over here actually. I think what I'll do, the very first thing that I'll place down is going to be this one. 001. Is this correct? It is the correct one. Nice. I've also redone the back here as well, as you guys might be able to see in just a second. But essentially, I've made this look a little bit nicer. I've removed a couple of these gated entrances and replaced it with glass. I've also redone the area inside of here a little bit. Nothing crazy. I've added an exit sign as well. I've also made this area underneath here look a little bit nicer, because bear in mind, this is going to be our main logistics floor. And it's going to be relatively tall as well. Like, this is going to be a huge logistics floor. And that's completely intentional. I want it to be a big logistics floor. That's the whole point. I want you to come up to around about there. Yeah, there we go. Let's nudge you along the side here. That's in the right spot, just making sure that. So what I'm going to try and do is plop you down like that. and select you, then make sure that you are on this setting. Where is it? Blueprint auto connect. Just like that. Nudge you over there by 3. You're not going to line up very well, which is fine. I can just get rid of that. The other side, though, it should line up perfectly fine. Make sure you are definitely connected here as well, which you are. Finished product looks smooth. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. I'm happy with it personally. I think I said I was going to go with 2 of these. Then 1 of these. Yep. Now, I'm not actually going to be placing this down, but I do want to double check. How far do you come up to? If I go back by 2, that's an in by 2 foundations that way. You are 1, 2. Okay, yeah, so that's what I'm going to do then. The corner blueprint that I'm going to design will then come out by 3 foundations, then go that way by 2 foundations. So that's going to be quite a difficult item to design. I think it could be good fun though, so I think that's what I'm going to actually end up doing right about now. I'm going to start with this. And let's see here, we'll go 1, 2, 3. You'll then curve around this way or that way? On the 3rd? No, it's this one. Yep, so you're going to have to go regardless. In fact, how does this actually look? Let's just get a very quick glimpse of everything here. Whilst also simultaneously placing this down. In fact, not that one, because you'll Z-snap a little bit. Instead, I'll go with you. I don't know if I've actually seen this in the nighttime yet, so it's good to get a good little glance of that right now. Yeah, it looks alright. I don't dislike that. I do like this design that we came up with, though. I don't mind that. Because again, we are going to be walking at around about this sort of level anyway. So the wall isn't, like, unbelievably tall. It's not really supposed to be massively tall either. It just wants it to be functional. And this should be functional. So, not too bad. We've still got a long way to go, though. That's for sure. As I say, let's start with this. Yeah, the coast just looks really good as well. I know I keep talking about the coast, saying how good it is. But I wouldn't keep saying how good it is if it wasn't good. So, I like it. Why are these built in a 1 foundation segment? I don't know, but that's actually really handy for what I wanted there, so I'll take it. And get rid of that. And again, I think everything here needs to go as well. Just like so. 50 out of 50, damn. In fact, I might as well come round this side in case I accidentally get rid of some of my logistics over there. Whereas over here, I haven't really got too much going for me. Maybe don't get rid of my actual blueprint. There we go. That's... I mean, this process won't necessarily take too long. There's only 2 more blueprints I need to try and design. We are definitely going to get that nipped today, which is fantastic. Regarding the other blueprints, though. For example, this corner one is one of the things that we're doing. I'm doing that right now. The other one is for this particular area over here. Like, see how this juts out a little bit? I want to try and have this wall follow that across, whilst having some sort of archway here in the middle, which I think could look really, really cool. I don't actually know how that's going to look, but we are going to design it, and hopefully it will look decent. We have also got this area over here, which is where the road connects to the main part of this blueprint. I don't know how many roads I'm going to have going in and out. In theory, not that many. I can't imagine us actually having too many items leaving this place. Regarding how many items are entering this place, it's all coming up from there, from here, and then we have got some more items I am actually going to be getting from over there, although I still don't know how I'm going to get it from there to here just yet. I mean, drones would make sense, produce the fuel, then use some of the fuel I'm producing to go get the drones. Or in fact, no, I can't put coal for the drones, can I? No. That's annoying, because that would have worked out really well, to be honest. Can I somehow belt it over? Just bear in mind, these items I'm going to be getting will be coming from somewhere here, so it's quite a far distance. We need sulfur, which I still don't even think that's enough sulfur, but there is enough nitrogen gas over there, which is one thing that I desperately do need. So I can bring that over, and maybe around the Spire coast. I wouldn't mind if it joined up with this. How would that work, logistically? We are crashing currently, but that's fine. Did I miss a slug? No. You know what? We can do that in all fairness. This one. You're coming round to here, so maybe what I could do, just maybe... Sorry. I can have you come out to there, go down here. I could also just have it cut it through the forest as well. But do I want it to cut through the forest or the Spire coast? Potentially? That's not really... actually, is that today's problem? No, not really. No. I think getting a drone out there would make sense. I could also do a train. But I really don't want to have to deal with packaging nitrogen. I really just don't want to deal with all of that rubbish. I really just can't be asked. So we will most likely end up getting a drone out there after we produce a bunch of our fuel. But then the question is, if I make all my fuel here... right. How much fuel would I need for a drone to go from there to there? I can't imagine it's a cheap amount, if I'm honest. Anyway. I don't think that's too important for today, though. Pipeline works in some regard, yes. I don't really want to use another pipeline, though. Okay, so as of right now, you come out here by 3. It's 1, 2, 3. You then go down here. Yes. Yeah, a train will work. Yeah, it will, annoyingly. So what I was thinking about doing then is getting our road from over there, then just yeeting it out in that sort of direction. Because what I could then do with that road is then hide the pipes and our conveyor belts, because I also need sulfur as well, underneath our road, which is why I've got my logistics floor. Therefore, eliminating the need for drones to go over there. And also, it's a good road as well. I might need that road for the future. So I feel like that's what I'm going to end up going for. I'm going to get that road. It's going to come out from there. I don't know how far it's going to come out, but it will come out from roughly somewhere over there. And then it'll just go straight. I think that'll be okay. Yeah, that looks pretty decent to me. Then go back by 3. Is that in the right spot? I think it is, yes. I do apologise for it being dark. I can't do much about that. Now let's select this. Although I am going to have to change the material here, which is completely fine. A little bit of asphalt. Also have a few little sips of water as well, because it is absolutely just... Actually, it's not really hot, it's just... I feel hot today. Oh well. Thank you to everyone tuning in, by the way. Has notifications gone out for today's stream? Just so I know, because sometimes I start streaming and YouTube doesn't send out the notifications. It's kind of weird. But if it has, it's all good. Maybe it's a bit of a slow Tuesday. Like, I'm having a bit of a slow Tuesday as well, to be fair, so that's understandable. Right, so you're no longer centralized, which is quite annoying. But you know what? That's actually not too bad, though. What I'm going to end up doing now is getting rid of that, and that. Come down to here. On the middle point of this, which is right here. Okay, you are actually straight now. Good. Sometimes you're not. Let's then get the curved mode. Yep, that's looking as crisp as I thought it would do. I do love curved mode, it's so good. I know I keep saying it, but it really is a fantastic feature. The only problem now is I've got this little gap underneath here, which is really annoying, but I can probably try and do something about that over here, so I'm not massively concerned about that. Okay, now regarding the remainder of you, you're just going to go straight, basically. Like so. Okay. What I can then do is select this. The reason why I got rid of these two pieces over here is because this would not be the same level as that if I didn't do it. It would be slightly elevated because in theory I'm not placing it on the ground, I'm placing it here, which even though in theory that is on the ground, it technically isn't. So yeah, that's why I've had to do that. That's completely fine though. Then you just go into that. Perfect. Do you stick out? Nope. Do you stick out? You shouldn't do. No. Great. The next problem is you're not actually straight. Yeah. So this is where the straightness ends. How are we going to deal with this little problem of ours? Firstly, are you on the same height level? You are not. Okay. So what am I going to do here? You come out to around about there. I think the problem is you're too high. Which was then throwing off what we had before. You already go up to there, I think. Oh, no, you actually don't. Being a bit weird. That's fine. You are definitely the same height now, though, which is great. You can then go back, and I've got no worries about you. You shouldn't have any sort of problems either, I believe. Even though the last one technically did have problems. Lovely. And what we can do here is that you can come back by a little bit, and then you can come back by a little bit. That was. I do love logistics, yeah. I mean, if you don't like logistics in a factory game, you are playing the wrong game, just straight up. May I introduce you to a game called Fortnite? No, I do like just having to crunch the numbers. Have a little bit of fun doing that as well. It is really good fun to me. One thing that I have said for a while that I really want them to add is curved architecture. Of course we have little things like this, but now I've got no curved walls. I haven't got any curved concrete beams. Literally nothing that I can think of that curves around here and makes it look relatively not disgusting, which is quite annoying. The only thing I can possibly think of as of right now is this. And even still, I don't actually like that. No, freeform won't work either. Let's see, if I bring you out by 1. 2. Yeah, I definitely did do 1. And do that. It works, but do you see what I mean? Like, it just doesn't look nice. So now I'm left asking, what do I do? I mean, first world problems at its highest, but still, it's annoying. I think what I'll do is this. With a couple half nudges, we can definitely make this work. Same thing here, potentially. But then now I've just got a massive open gap here, which I don't actually want, for obvious reasons. What if I try this? I think this is the only way. I know it's not perfect, so that's fine. You used to do logistics as a job and dated a college-educated girl. Would have married her, but she broke it off. Ah, rips. But yeah, I mean, logistics can be fun. Can be. Not always, but can be. Okay, I think this is going to have to do. Now let's come back to this. And bring you in by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How does that look? You know what? That actually doesn't look bad. I thought that would look terrible, but no, that looks completely just fine. Okay. I wouldn't have minded if these guys connected, though. So let's do it. The only problem is you're very clearly going to be sticking out of that. I don't know if I'm going to massively, like... Oh well. I mean, it works, I suppose, so I'll keep it the way it is as of right now. I can always change it a little bit later on if I ever so need to. Now let's move on to this wall. It's like that. You're also going to have to change here as well. Why have you still got the old design? Oh, yeah, I know why. I haven't technically changed this yet, have I? How high are you going to go up to? Yeah. Then need... Wait, why are you sticking out like that? That is awfully weird. Deleted a message? Oh, that's fine, don't worry. These things happen. I won't be too frustrated, don't worry. I'm not angry. I'm just angry. Right, so the way that I'm going to do this then is that, then coming out, is that half a click? I think it is half a click. There we go. Leave that like that. I keep sneezing, it's really annoying. I told you I'm feeling a bit unwell today, but I still want to try and stream because I haven't streamed for so long and I'm just missing it a little bit. So, it's a bit of a cold, I'll get over it. Next thing that I then need to try and do is move you a little bit. That. Which then means I have to move you. I think you're both going to be glass as well, to be honest. I remember the exact one that I went for, I believe it was you. I get this. Yeet you up there by slow. Gravity. And one more. No. Actually, yeah, that's correct. Never mind. How about this? I'll bring you down by one. Although you're not lined up. Oh, you know, yeah, you were never going to be. It's the way that I've half nudged everything. Okay. That's a bit better. There we go. Now, why are you still yellow? You have to be. No, not really. But in that case, I'll turn you to be nice and grey. Beautiful. I do very quickly just want to paste this in the way that it currently is. Fact. There we go. Rocket fuel wall corner 001. You can then get rid of that because you serve no purpose to me as of right now. Same with you. You can stay. Why not? I'm just feeling that generous. Then come on by one there. The actual design of this corner is going to change, by the way. It's just the actual shape I want to try and see if it's correct. Which it actually isn't correct. It's wrong. It's off by half a foundation. That's where it should be. Ignore that, by the way. Okay, that's relatively annoying, but that's not necessarily game breaking, although the pipes coming through there, that is really annoying. Right. I'll see what I can do about that, and that wall there as well, and that wall. That's fine. This is what I'm a bit more concerned about. How do you look? Not dreadful. I've got to add them into there as well. I don't really want to move everything back here by half a foundation. That's way too much effort, and it's not really worth it, to be honest. Oh well. So I think what I'll end up doing here is getting rid of all of this. Everything here. In fact, in theory I could. All I have to do is just push this back as well. That should work. Again, it would be rather annoying, but it's definitely doable. So regarding that, let's get rid of it for now. Well, no, I can't actually move that, so I might as well keep you the way you are, actually. As long as I know this is going to most likely overlap something else, that's fine. Get rid of that, get rid of that, and might as well bump you out there a little bit as well whilst we're at it. There we go. So, this is what we're left with for now. Right. I didn't actually double check to make sure everything was lined up properly, which, well, I mean, it technically isn't lined up properly, but let's see. Yeah, more is less definitely can apply to this. That's why I'm trying not to over-decorate it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something here has to go. This one. Is there one more over here? No, that's actually fine. Okay. So you're currently okay. I don't dislike that. Do I want to try and have like a large structure here for this corner? I think I do, if I'm honest. But this is a large... Well, it should hopefully end up being a large corner. Bow, bow, bow. Next thing to then do is actually place down this, isn't it? This then confirms to me that it's definitely lined up properly. Right there. As we can see, these walls here line up completely fine. That lines up completely fine there as well. That's great. Everything here looks pretty good to me. Let's chuck that down into there. I then know everything can line up from that. So, essentially the foundation here is correct. Brilliant. Now it's just trying to figure out what to actually do. The corner being black is fine. Yeah, I suppose, like, this part could look fine. Well, I don't like this. Let's get rid of that. Something is going to have to go here. How about if we just continued this? Be interesting. Unsure if I'm honest. Something similar to just trying to hide our little crime there. How big is the gap here? The gap's relatively big. Will then be placed, is it there? No, back by one. Yeah, so here. Okay. I'll then go the entire way across there. Okay. Am I then going to want something for this corner? I don't think this would actually work. I mean, it works fine, I think. It's okay. Not dreadful. Regarding this, again, I know that I'm going to have to connect this wall. That's completely fine. This should be copied at the top. I tried that, but they look terrible. I thought of it as well, but yeah. That then has to come across over there. That's completely fine. I can do that over here. It needs something, like, just elevates it a little bit. I'm just thinking as of right now, what would that be? It would take up these 4 foundations. Let's go maybe architecture. How tall would that end up being? Quite high. How about if we go up by 20 meters? It's like that. So that would be the heights that we'll end up working with. You lined up properly. Almost don't even look like you are. You are? Okay, that's good. It just doesn't really look like it was. Now what? think I might want it to almost indent itself into the edge here. What do I mean by that? I don't know. Let's try this. Again, the whole point of these streams isn't for me just to do something, it's for me to think of something, then see if that's something that I thought of is actually going to work. Which, spoiler alert, a lot of the time it does, to be fair. Sometimes it doesn't. So I was just trying to figure out what's going to work. Quite frankly, what isn't. Again, that's one of my favourite aspects of this game, just having a bit of a laugh, seeing if things work. Then acting surprised when it ends up working. What if I just zoop you up to here? Just like so. And foundations, let's get a little ramp going as well, why not? With this up here as well. I mean, this was the sort of design I was going for. Over here doesn't look too bad, but how about from this direction, though? Is it going to look a little bit weird just having it by itself? Maybe, yes. So are we going to have to continue it out a little bit further, potentially? Like this, for example. I do realise if I'm designing this, I might as well do it in the blueprint designer. I'm just trying to get like an understanding of, is this going to work? And if so, how? I think that would work. Yeah. Does it need to be a bit thicker though? If I try and get a bit further back here, using the cinematic camera. Because up close, obviously it looks pretty big, but when you've got a structure that's a medium size next to a structure that's massive, oh, that works. That does work. In fact, it works really well. I might even design something like this, and then copy and paste it to all of these ones here as well. That could be relatively interesting. So I suppose let's take this design, which I've already started, granted. It's 4 followed by 11, then that. Okay. I'll come back to that in just a moment. Let me just finish off this main design down here, which, to be fair, isn't going to take that much longer for me to actually do. What I've got to try and do is just place these down, for starters. Staggered concrete at the bottom should be copied at the top. I think I've already read that. Reminds me of your modern brutalism. Which are the pictures and the... Yeah, it's... Yeah, I'm not really going off any sort of reference. It's just... building something and hoping that it doesn't look terrible. As of right now. You're now going to come up to there. Welcome, T-Man. Hope that you're doing good. The factory's going pretty decent so far. We've built worse. Yeah, I've definitely built worse. I hope that you are doing well, though. Cosmetic elements. I wouldn't mind some more. I definitely wouldn't say no. There. Down by a little bit more now as well. Up. One more there on the side as well. In fact, what I might even do is have you be the same height. This last one is coming straight down. That's the side now pretty much done. And as you say, the actual black wall itself doesn't look too bad. I might just stick with that. This might be the easiest blueprint well, not the easiest, but one of the easiest blueprints I've had to make in a while. Which I won't say no to, I'm just a bit surprised. Oh well. Staggered concretes on the walls? What do you mean, like, up here? Potentially. Is all this done now? Connect that to there. The lights. Okay, I haven't done the lights yet. That's good. At least we managed to notice it now. Rather than when it's too late. I don't want to do it here, though, I don't think. I do want to try and do it here. And over here, like so. Okay. As long as you can see most of the light, it's fine. I know that some of it is sticking into this particular frame floor, but that's completely fine. I don't mind that. Have snap with the concrete pillars top facing you. Do you mean at like a 45-degree angle? I'm happy the way it looks right now. I don't really want to change it too much, if I'm honest. Okay, I think I just want to leave that the way it is. It really isn't that difficult to build. I'm honest. I will get rid of that, and I don't know what I'm going to end up doing here. So obviously, I can't get rid of these pipes. Logistically, they are extremely important, carrying a lot of our crude oil. So I don't want to end up getting rid of that. What I do want to try and do, though, is redesign parts of this now. So let's get rid of you. Yeah, that's... I don't know why it's lagging after clearing one blueprint, but oh well. I definitely did save it, right? I believe so. Yeah, okay, that saved. Good. Just making sure. It's a bit like when you leave the house thinking that you've turned off the gas of the oven, knowing you've turned it off, but then you think to yourself, did I turn it off? That's what I think about a lot whenever I play this game. Not turning off the gas of the oven, but knowing I did something but still double checking it anyway, thinking that I didn't do it, knowing that I did do it. Which sums up most of my life, to be honest. There we go. Rocket fuel wall tower. Brilliant. Of course, this in itself is not the tower. Don't worry. You are yet to design that. And do a little bit of this. And up by 10. I don't know why I was looking all the way up there like this was about to zoom all the way up, but no. Only 10 meters. Next part now is to select this. I'm still thinking I might change it from concrete to potentially asphalt. Depends. I feel like asphalt might work a little bit better. So, for now, actually, I'll change it in just a moment. It's not really that much of a priority just yet. You're going to be concrete right now, though. There we go. It's only a 3x3, luckily. What are you planning to do with the compact cold byproducts? I don't know just yet. I don't really want to put that into the, Actually, yes, I do. I think... Diamonds? Let me just double check. Compact... Coal Satisfactory. I don't want to have to burn it in a fuel generator. The main reason for that is because it just takes so many fuel generators and coal power generators, and I don't really want to do that. So you can make turbo fuel. I think that's what I said I might end up doing here. Is turning it into turbo fuel. I did calculate prior necessarily how much I was going to get regarding all of my compact coal. In fact, I could double check here, but I'm not. Oh, should I do it? Okay. Give me a second. Let me get the maths open. Because I might have written down what I was going to do. I'm actually not entirely sure. All that I know is that I've got a fair bit of compact coal and that I don't want to yeet it straight into the coal power generator because that just... It's going to require hundreds of coal power generators. I think it's just not worth it. The amount of power that we're going to be getting from it. Oh, it signed me out of my account. Nice. No. There we go. Yeah, thank you again to everyone who's watching, by the way. Hope everyone's doing well. Thank you for the likes already so far. We are going to try and aim for 6 likes on today's live stream. So if you guys are enjoying it, then feel free to drop a like. It's entirely up to you. So we are planning on making 6,000 rocket fuel. Now, according to this... Let's see. The recipe that I'm using is this one. I love this recipe. By the looks of things, it should be really simple to do. 6,000 divided by 150. Just get the calculator open. Well, there's a calculator in game. I know. That's 40. Okay. And I then need to times that by 25. So I'll be getting 1,000 compact coal as a byproduct. I might as well write that down because I'm pretty sure I've done that maths already and I didn't remember it, obviously, because why would I remember that random number? There we go. And 1,000 compact coal as a byproduct. Lovely. I do want to try and lower this down a little bit. Actually, maybe I can't. Okay, fair enough. Make that a little bit smaller, then lower you down. Okay. Then with that 1,000 compact coal, I can now decide what I can try and do with it. Let's see. If I was to turn all of it into turbo fuel, either the heavy residue variant or the regular fuel variant, which, to be honest, math-wise... wait. I can't show you guys that page because there's a trailer for a movie playing. And, of course, if I show you guys a trailer of a movie, it's going to get my channel copyright striked. 2 more of those and my channel is gone. So that's fantastic. Let me try and hide that. There we go. Lovely. So I suppose I'm going to have to choose between this and this. And also, am I going to have enough crude oil? In theory, yeah, because I'm getting tons more crude oil over than what I'm actually going to need. So I suppose the plan now is, I have to try and make 1,000 compact coals worth of turbo fuel using one of these 2 recipes. And this might be a bit random, but let's try and do that right now, because we haven't really done much maths for a little bit, so let's do that right now. The very first thing that I'm going to need here is turbo fuel. So let's just start off with this. There we go. Turbo fuel. And we actually don't know how many of these I'm going to need per minute just yet. Which is a bit random that I'm making an item, but I don't know how many of it I need. I don't normally do things like that, but oh well. Also, you're wrong. There we go. What I do know, though, is that I am going to need our 1,000 compact coal. Just like so. I apologize for there being no background music, by the way, but... Should be alright. Change this as well, so that's lovely. So you can then come over there, and that's basically done. I can't have you be red. I've got something else on red. You can be purple. Why not? Now, the question is, if I just put that over there for a sec. Okay. I've got to try and divide 1,000 by 30? Yeah. No. Yeah. That should be correct. Divide that by 30. And in theory, I'm... No, that can't be right. Then times it by 4. Hmm. 1,000 divided by 30. This means I have to produce 33.4 times all of this. Because this is 1/33 of what I actually need. So that means that everything here, you two at least, then have to be times by 33.3. Okay. That makes a bit more sense. So that means that 30 times by 33.3 is 1,000. So we are making 1,000 turbo fuel here. Okay. Times by 37.5, I believe that was, for heavy oil residue. Which then means that I'm going to need 1,250 heavy oil residue. Welcome, Bernard. Hope that you're doing good. Welcome. 1,250, yep. Great. Okay, this is actually really throwing me off. Let me just change that back to this. Does this maths make sense over here? So 1,000, 1,250. 6 to 5. Yeah, so the maths lines up there. Absolutely. Good. Now, to make our 1,250 heavy oil residue, I believe I'm using the residual fuel recipe. What are we doing today? Well, the main plan for today is finishing off the walls for our rocket fuel factory, but now I'm also trying to figure out what I'll be doing with my 1,000 compact coal that I'm making in my rocket fuel factory. So it's a quick little maths diversion, which is also quite important for me to try and do. Stop playing movie ads. There we go. Oh well. Compact steel. How much compact steel does it make, and is it suitable? What, for this? Probably quite a lot, but I don't need that much steel in my playthrough. I'm using a very, very small amount of steel because I'm using steel pipes for almost everything steel related, and then to make my steel pipes, I'm then using the iron pipe recipe, which doesn't require any of this other than iron. So I don't actually need much steel at all. So heavy oil residue. You just get made from crude oil? I'm guessing that's what I've done here, because I don't really want to use any of these. Definitely not. Yeah, this one, I think. Is that correct? Yeah, this should be correct, I think. Unless I'm generally having some sort of brain fart, I believe this is just the good recipe to use here. I don't want plastic and I don't want rubber. In fact, yeah, I know this is the right recipe. Okay, great. So 1,250 divided by 40, I believe is what I'm going to try and do now. So divide this by 40. That's 31.25. Then 31.25 times by 20. In fact, no, let's do times by 30. That is 937.5 extra crude oil, which is quite a bit. Oh well. Great. Then are you half of that? Okay, you actually are as well. So then regarding our polymer resin, which I think I've actually got a little bubble here for that. There. But it's green. Oh well. Is there a non-green bubble I can try and use for it? Probably, but that's fine. I can't find it. Why is the text so massive? Thank you. So it's basically half of this, which is going to be 500, 625. Yep. That's actually a lot. Wow. That seems like an awful lot. An awful amount. 42. I mean, it's right. The maths is right. Damn. Okay. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing with that, but we've got it now, so that's not too bad. Matching a route that you're working on. Oh, nice. I think this should be purple and this should be black, if I'm not mistaken. That's what we had before. So that is option number 1 right there. We are going to need pretty much an extra 1,000 crude oil per minute. Although for this, we are going to be needing 1,500 crude oil. Yet when we double check the amount of crude oil we've actually got coming in here, this is just one part of it. We've got 3, 6, 9, 1,200, 1,600, plus another at least 1,000, I would say. I know it's 1,200, but it technically isn't, so that's 2,600, so we can actually handle that pretty fairly. Although this doesn't actually include our plastic and rubber production, which, to be fair, where is our plastic and rubber production? I don't know what this is down here, but I'm not going to touch it. I think it's here. We need 1,500 crude oil for that. So let's just see how much crude oil I've got left over, basically. That'll give me a good understanding of how much I am willing to spend. What is this? What is this? Oh, I think this is everything I've built in my starter factory. Right, okay, fair enough. So here we're going to need an additional 800 crude oil there. Like, look at this, right? We're only making 260 plastic and 260 rub. That's wrong. I'm pretty sure that's wrong. There is no way it's that small an amount. Let me try and figure out where I'm actually making this, because there is no way I'm only making that. Okay, yeah, see, rubber 750, plastic 150. So in that case, oh, plastic plus fuel plus, okay. This is slightly better here. How much crude oil do I need for this then? 4,000? Damn. That can't be right either. Is it? Oh no, because that includes the 4,000 fuel, whereas that, okay, so minus 1,500 basically. It's still 2,500, let's say 2,600. Damn. So together that's about 4,000. How many have I got coming in again? Not that much. So does that mean that I can't produce all of my plastic and rubber here? Because that's going to be a bit of a shame if I can't, considering that's what this place is supposed to be. 3, 6, 1,200. Although again, we'll lower it down, so that's 500. We'll make both of these 500, so that's 1,000. 1,600, 1,900, 2,100, 2,550. Fly over here because we've got some more items coming in from this direction. 2,550. So we're just over halfway there. I think I've got an additional 600 coming in from here. So we're still off by a good few thousand. a little bit of a concern. Let's see though, let's see. I'll read my chat here as well. There we go. Just export the polymer for residual rubber or plastic for things like rubber and concrete. I could do that if I really wanted to. I've already got a plan in place though, so I want to just try and stick to that. $600, yeah. So we got a tad bit over 3,000 coming in, but we need roughly 5,000, so we're off by about 2k. Where can I get 2,000 crude oil from? The Blue Crater Lake. How can I transport that here? Using pipes? No, that's too much of a nightmare for me. Drones? 2,000 per minute, including packaging? Doable, it's doable. Welcome Eric, hope that you're doing good. You chose to use a coral reef for primarily plastic rubber production, with some excess going into rubber or rocket fuel. Which that little excess, some 4 to 5 blenders run over 40 fuel generators. Yeah, that can happen, yeah, because some recipes don't necessarily require that much fuel or water, but they can produce an absolute ton of items. A train, if I really have to, yes, but I'd rather not, if I'm completely honest. In fact, this road... Wait, why is that yellow? I could have sworn that was yellow for a second. Anyway. This road that's over here, if I was to convert all of my crude oil into packaged crude oil and transport that underneath here, it's a pretty big distance to go. It's roughly somewhere here. Is that even enough resources? I don't actually know. I know we're a little bit off topic here, but it's good to actually answer these questions now rather than later. So let's try and get our Satisfactory map open up. So I can try and see where I can get the rest of the crude oil from. So we've got everything from here. That's what we managed to do recently. And everything from over here as well. This is currently being used as some of our plastic and rubber, but it's not very efficient, so it's going to end up going eventually. This will then give us 600, 900 extra. Okay. So now let's just add everything over here together, basically. And I can try and write it down somewhere. Oh, dear. Holy moly. So again, these guys don't actually give us 600, so we'll lower it down to 1,000. 1,300. 1,600. 1,900, 2,200. Is that correct? It is, yep. 2,200, 2,500. 2,650. 2,800. 2,950. 3,250. Okay, so 3,250. 3,250. And underneath here, we then said that we had an additional, what was it, 900? So in total, that gives us the amount of crude oil that I actually need for all of my plastic, rubber, and our fuel. Which is the minimum for what I actually need. In total, that's 4,100. So I'm over by about 100. But preferably, I still need more. How about you lots? Because you're not actually that far away. And I should have a road coming out to here as well eventually. So what I'm thinking I can do... do I use a drone? I have actually got drone ports for this. I am going to be using drones here. And because you guys are producing 900 per minute, I'm going to convert you into a solid. A drone port, I believe, a drone has 9 slots. So that completely fills up a drone in 1 minute. Wow. Right. And then now addressing this, you're again about 500, 1,100. That will then be enough. I shouldn't need any more than that now. So in total, that's 2,000, 5,250 crude oil that I can get from these particular locations. Regarding you again, I do want to try and use a drone, but 1,100, that's going to be a lot of drones. Because bear in mind, I'm also going to need drones to deliver us our canisters as well, for us to put all of our crude oil in. So that is going to make things a little bit more difficult for us. I don't want to have to use trains and liquids together because that's just a bit of a nightmare. I don't see another way. I also don't want to transport this using a pipe all the way from there to there either, because it won't end up being the same. It will get stuck along the way. It's some liquids in this game, or actually, in fact, all liquids in this game are just an absolute nightmare to work with. So I've got to bear that in mind as well. So I think the plan is going to be everything up here, keep it the way it is. That's completely fine. You guys will then get transported over here using a drone. You guys will also get transported over here using a drone. Regarding all the containers and canisters, I can make that just in my starter factory using a couple summer sloops, and before you know it, I'm going to have tens of thousands of canisters, so canisters will not be a problem. At least they shouldn't be a problem, at least. So the drone's going to come from here over there. Because we are currently stood somewhere here, pretty much. How many drones am I going to need per minute? Let's say about 4 or 5 active drones. How am I going to fuel the drones? Using the turbo fuel, which I'm not currently making. But that is how I will fuel it, using the turbo fuel that I'm making from this. So is it worth making my turbo fuel first? No. Because I'm not going to need plastic rubber just yet. I suppose the very first thing that I want to try and make is... Where is it? Is this. This is the very first thing I want to try and make. Because I've got all of my crude oil. I've got most of my nitrogen gas. That won't be a massive problem. We've got a good amount of that and a good amount of... Well, all of this. Not my sulfur. You're making 3,000 plastic rubber. Nice. That should be a pretty good amount. Crude diamonds became an option. Yeah, I want to try and use my turbo fuel for that. That's because with diamonds, I want to use the pink diamond variant and the turbo fuel variant as well, since I'm now going to have it available to me. That was the plan from the last few weeks. Can I please select this? There we go. That's a bit too thick. So do I make half of this first? But then what's the point in only making half of it? Because the problem is I can't make all of it because I haven't got the drones. What do I need for the drones? The turbo fuel. But I can't make the turbo fuel until I've got some of this. So I think what we'll do is I'll place down all of the machines that I need to fully make this. However, I'll only produce what I'm currently able to. This will then mean, since I'm now producing some rocket fuel, I'm also then able to make some compact coal. With the little amount of compact coal I can then make my turbo fuel. With the turbo fuel I then make, I can then power all of my drones to get all of the crude oil that I'm going to need, the remainder of the nitrogen gas, and the remainder of the sulfur. Let me just write that down, because I thought of it now, but I'll forget it in 5 minutes. So, make as much as possible. Make it a little bit wider there as well. Nice. Use compacted coal to make turbo fuel. Use turbo fuel to power drones. Use drones to collect remainder of resources. And that is basically going to be the plan. Okay. Deary me. We got there in the end. Also, I want to try and do one more recipe for this. That's just recipe number 1. We've still got one more left to go. Let's try and find that now. Compact core. Where is it? Because the recipe that we literally just did there was this. I now want to try this because it might actually save us a little bit regarding the fuel and crude oil elements. So let's try it. So the only problem is, to make my fuel, I'm now going to need more water generators or water extractors, which isn't really what I planned for, but I can definitely make it work, preferably. Your layouts could make close to 3,900 of each, but the loop of materials isn't lining up and parts of recycled aren't running. Had to take a break from that factory. I can imagine. Yeah, something about this game and liquids, I really just don't like it. It's like the only thing in this game I sometimes mentally struggle with is the liquid element of it. Everything else is a joy other than that. Okay, so this is going to have to change. In fact, I don't want to necessarily get rid of that. I'm going to move this down a little bit. There we go. Move you over to here. Add you over there as well. Then lastly, you're then going to be water. Brilliant. Let's figure out this recipe then, shall we? We currently have 1,000 compact coal that I have to get rid of. Divide that by 15. And then times it all by 18.75, maybe. I keep sneezing, it's really annoying. Moonshine, oh, wow. So 1,000. So 66.67. Now I've got to times this by 66.67, 18.75. 1,250. So instantly we are actually making more turbo fuel. Is that going to have a negative impact on our crude oil? Let's find out. There we go. That's fine then. Times it by 22.5. That's 1,500 fuel. That's not looking great, if I'm honest. Let's see though. We are now going to be using our amazing recipe, one of my favorite recipes in the entirety of Satisfactory, the diluted fuel recipe. So we have to do whatever we have over here. 1,500 divided by 100, which luckily is 15. Then times everything here by 15, so water is 1,500. And then heavy oil residue is 500. Damn, is that less? Oh, a lot less. Right. I'm guessing the difference here, and the reason as to why this is so different, as I'll very quickly line up over here after I do this calculation. Where is it? You go to there. 500 divided by 40. Wait. 500 divided by 40. times by 30. It's 375. I mean, it almost doesn't even seem right, but it is. And times that by 20. 250 polymer resin. So let's just analyze the main difference here between these two recipes. Firstly, regarding the amount of turbo fuel we are actually producing, our first recipe produces an additional 250 turbo fuel, which I believe is 1/6 more than our bottom recipe, which is fantastic. Of course, compact core is the exact same. Fuel-wise, in fact, there's no point comparing that because you're the only one that consumes fuel. But crude oil-wise, you consume a lot less. Like a huge amount less. Like maybe 2/5 of the total amount of this. That's actually really good. The downside with this recipe, though, is that firstly, I'm now consuming 1,500 water. That's like an additional 14 water extractors or something. I don't really want to have done that, but it's also not too bad. Also, power-wise, it's going to be far more expensive, and of course, you get a lot less polymer resin, which isn't really that big a problem to me. So, because you only require 375 crude oil, now in theory, does that actually have an impact on... where is it? On this. Is you have 4,000? No. So I might as well still get all of that crude oil. It means I am going to have a lot more crude oil than what I actually need. So then that begs the difference. If I am getting all this crude oil anyway... wrong one. Should I make this? No, I'm still getting less turbo fuel. No. Resource efficiency. I think this is still pretty efficient. Because then all the extra crude oil I've got, I can then use to make something. Like, for example... polymer resin, not polymer resin, petroleum coke, because I need petroleum coke for other things as well. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to commit with this recipe right here. Let me just colour everything so that's correct as well. Since I'm now committing with this recipe. Compact core, you don't really have to change, do you? And I'll move it in over here as well. Okay. Also, 1,250 turbo fuel. Like, I sort of very quickly went over that. This is quite a lot of turbo fuel. It's quite a lot. I can burn a lot of this and produce a good amount of power. Then I'd probably end up using... Actually... wait. Where is it? Packaged turbo fuel can be used to make diamonds. I've currently got 1,250. I believe I can also power drones as well, can't I? There should be a link here somewhere that should take me to the drones. Vehicles. No. Should be here somewhere. Just type it into here, maybe. Yeah, team, man, it can be really fun. Honestly, I'm a bit of a nerd like that. I do love little things like this. So your speed is slightly faster than fuel, but the value is a lot better. The jet cutter, I don't really care much about that, if I'm honest. What I do care about, though, is the efficiency. How far can it actually get me from point A to point B? A little bit faster. That's fine. And efficiency-wise, how good is this? Most drones must use batteries, which I am making, but not for this part of the factory. No, yes, no, 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 no. Okay. I think this would be fine. Because essentially the only thing that I am using my turbo fuel for here is just the drones going from here. Up there, if I can actually scroll up there. Why is this so unbelievably sensitive now? It never used to be this bad. So our drones will be going from here down to there, there, and there. I am going to need at least 4 drones here, maybe 6 drones there, and again, potentially 6 drones there. Meaning in total, we're looking at roughly 16 drones. Okay. And then when it comes to the, what is it? The actual retrieving of the canisters, how am I going to do that? I suppose more drones. So the drone comes back over here, it's got a bunch of empty canisters. It then dumps all the empty canisters over here, and then it flies back, right? I don't think our drone can go from that port to this port to that port to that port to then go back. It can only go from one port to another, as far as what I'm aware. So that drone's sole purpose will just be retrieving empty canisters, which means I have to double the amount of drones I have to use, which means I then have to consume 32 drones just to bring in a couple thousand crude oil. Because you're 300 per minute. A trip, including takeoff, landing, and actually collecting the resources, the trip from here to there should take no longer than 2 minutes. And again, a minute, let's say a minute and a half for refueling and landing and all that sort of jazz. That's 2 minutes, 3.5 minutes. That's 5.5 minutes there. Which is pretty much double what it can be. So, so then you have to go into 2 different drone ports. Okay. 2, 4, 8. You guys can end up combining. So again, that's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's turn on the other resources that I'm going to need, which is going to end up being sulfur and nitrogen. I can also get a bit of extra sulfur from here if I'm in desperate need of it. Don't know if I actually am, though. But anyway, I was up to... what was it? 10, 11, 12, 14. Right, then you lot are going to be the bane of my existence. Ugh. Let me see something here for a second. When I package you, can I fit more of you than I actually think I can? Yes, okay, good. Oh, dear, that's a relief. So, divide it by 4, basically. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Let's say 2,000. 2,000 divided by 4 is roughly 500. Okay. That's an additional 4 drones out there. That's 18 in total. 600 resources. That's an additional 4 drones. In fact, no, it isn't, because you don't require the returning of casings. You're just 2 drones. Okay, that's 20 in total. And for sulfur, how are we actually doing? 1,200. No. 780. 1,560. 2,000 something. Okay, and how much do I actually need? 4,000. Oh, Lord have mercy. So I'm gonna have to have this as a minimum. And probably belt you 2 together. Then bring you over here as well. That's another 1,200. Plus that's 1,500. 3,000. That might just about be enough. I hope. Because again, 760 plus 760. 1,400. 1,520. 2,120. 3,000. No. 2,720. 3,000. 3,620. I still need 1 more. Damn. How do I still need more? much bloody sulfur am I using? I suppose I can get this, but that's really far away though. Because I'm going to need 4,000 in total. Oh well, that's not today's... Actually, I suppose it is today's problem. This doesn't matter. I'll figure that out maybe another stream or off camera. I've done the maths that I wanted to get done today. Let's go back to building this. There we go. Welcome, Mike. Hope that you're doing good today. Holy. Okay, my game's decided it doesn't want to function. There we go. I don't know why it's lagging so much now. I haven't got any extra tabs open. Closed everything. Oh well, okay. So let's come back to designing this. Because the reason why I was having my little moment right there was because I was also thinking, can I fit a drone port above her? The honest answer is yes, I can. Worst case scenario, I can most certainly try and do that. Are you considering possibly less drone ports and multiple drones between each pair? Potentially. I don't know why my game's lagging so much now. I didn't do anything. And change everything here to asphalt. There we go. Including everything above here now as well. Is that all good? Yes. Okay. If I was to get a drone port into here, which I haven't unlocked yet, can I unlock a drone port? I don't see why not, but if I was to get one, it will be able to fit just about. I'm not really interested in that idea as of right now, though. It's just an idea. Let's definitely zoop you across here. That's yeah. So we've pretty much replicated what I've done over here. Now, what else do I want to try and add to this? That's a good question. Well done, me. Good question. Wow. Like a drone port could actually look really cool. Let's try to unlock that as my game again decides to just stop working. You've used a train for your gas, but you ended up piping up. Oh, that's what I said I was going to do. I was going to get a road for my nitrogen gas. So, everything to the left-hand side where that one sulfur node was and all the nitrogen, that's going to get collected by conveyor belts and pipes. I don't actually have to worry about that, which is good. Oh, not this music again. The worst part is I can't run away. There we go. Not too bad. In fact, I've actually got to go to the hub, don't I? Damn. That's fine. I can also unlock the hazmat suit. I completely forgot about that. So, what do I need for you? I believe items I've already got somewhere. Let's try and find them. I've definitely got everything. I'm not quite sure about the... Is that radio control units? 1, 2, 3. All of our aluminium stuff should be around here somewhere. Welcome to Stop Banana. Hope that you're doing good, man. You have a new PC. Nice. Now you can play Satisfactory at max settings at 170 FPS. That is awesome, man. I wish I could relate. That is pretty awesome, though. Congrats on the upgrade. Where's our casings? Over here, right? Yes. It's been a while since I was last down here, in all fairness. Okay. So you're not there. Are you here, maybe? Oh, fantastic. And that's why I make things off camera. Also, I'm pretty sure I might have done that on camera as well. It wasn't fully automated, but I'm not really too concerned about fully automating things like that just yet. Oh, we got the rare animation. Nice.
Milestone reached. Drones provide automated low-capacity aerial transport between drone stations. Stations need to be supplied with any kind of fuel for the drones to function. Fixit had several restrictions in place prohibiting creative use of drones. I have since removed those because I think no pioneer would ever misuse Fixit property right under their noses.
I'm tempted.
Especially since everything is recorded.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Let's just try and make 10 of these very quickly, just so I can try and see the distance that my drones have to go. Although, I might actually have to have turbo fuel on me for this to work. Let's see. Large enough factory. Yeah, just you wait until you get to the nuclear pasta. Having all those particle accelerators. Welcome, Vinod. We are continuing the building of our rocket fuel factory. Now, I'm pretty sure I have got a way to get over there, don't I? Although I don't actually know where I've placed it down. I did have a very temporary one over here, the little hypertube cannon. It's still there, I think? Yes, it is. Okay, nice. Nice. So it seems like I will be making several thousand plastic and rubber per minute. I'm quite surprised about it. I don't know why it's so high. Because in my last playthrough, I was making barely any plastic and rubber. Yeah, oh. Oh dear. I can't change anything. To be fair, if I didn't have 1 frame per second, I could have probably stopped that. There we go. No. Thank you. Yeah, literally being limited to 1 frame per second doesn't really help with trying to control yourself. Oh well, we'll try that again. Nice, that's filled up completely. I love to see that. Luckily, it's not getting wasted because everything that I'm not using is just getting sunk straight away, so that's always quite nice. Why are you getting uploaded to there? What? Okay, I don't think I've spent Quickwire in a few episodes, so why is that not filled to the brim by now? I don't actually know. Oh. Let's try that again. Made 60 per minute, and you kind of lost your mind? I can imagine. Yeah, luckily I don't think I'll be making 60 per minute. Oh, nice. What even is this? What am I landing on? It's a tree. Okay, so it's not even a solid object. Great. I mean, the graphics are so bad, and I've got ultra graphics turned on. Why is that my graphics that I get for ultra graphics? Okay. It's a bit concerning. I'm currently looking into buying a new PC. I think I've talked about this on yesterday's live stream. My new PC should be pretty decent. Because again, the one that I've got right now, it was okay back in 2016. So as you can imagine, times have changed. So is this where I wanted to go here? Because there should be some crude oil around, right? No, it's actually up there. Right, okay. Try that again. Venom spiders. Luckily, I've got all that turned off. If I engage an enemy, they'll then engage me back. But if I don't engage the enemy, they'll just let me be. Regarding streaming, it's so much easier to do it like that. I'd rather not spend half my stream just killing hostiles. Also, I don't mind them walking around. It adds a bit more life to the factory anyway. I'm not in desperate need to kill them. After a while, it gets a bit boring as well. Alright, so I need to go here. Plop this down. Because again, this is pretty much where all of our drone ports are going to end up being. not going to look nice as of right now. It's not really supposed to. I'll call this... There should be some power nearby as well. Don't know in which direction, but there is some power nearby. Around there. Oh, you can't actually land on top of that, damn. Where would the power be? Because I have got some up there, so I suppose if I just go around in this direction... Oh, actually, yeah, this is the right way. I'm not too fussed about collecting the slugs. I'll come back for that when I'm remotely bothered about it. I don't mind a good slug, but as of right now, we've just got far more important things to be worrying about and focusing on. Far more. Oh, great. That was close. 28,000 copper, damn. There we go. So everything here should now be sorted. Let me just double check my power grids. Yep, that's working. Brilliant. I will triple check though, just in case. You a pure node? No, you're normal. Okay. Everything here now is fully working. How am I actually doing regarding my turbo fuel? Oh yeah, here it is. I've only got 7, which is quite annoying. Oh well. Lock you down there. So that's test 001. The only problem now is I don't think it's going to show me how far I need to go. How much fuel is also required. It's really annoying. I'll leave all this here for now. Let's then go back over to where I want my drone port to be. And I'm hoping it's going to give me a rough estimate of how much turbo fuel this is going to be consuming per trip. I've chosen the furthest location as well. So if I times all this by, I think it's 32, whatever it is. And I've got like the largest estimate that I'm actually going to need. And it's times by 28. That's how many drones I'm going to need. 28 drones. I'm hoping that most of my drones will end up in these corners. That's the whole point of them being here. But I'm also going to have one there. Hopefully one more there. That's 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can only fit 12 drones here. Which is a bit of a concern. Well, it will show you distance and fuel for each trip once you put a drone on the platform and set destination. I hope so. Oh. It's been a while since I've last really fiddled around with these drones. Chuck that into there. This ports, and you're going to connect to test. You then come straight back into here. The distance is pretty much 2,700 meters. Not enough fuel. Does it say how much fuel I actually need? No. It's really annoying. Batteries. I am doing batteries, but I'm not doing batteries right now though. I'm doing that for my aluminium facility. After I get my aluminium facility done, I can then use drones and batteries throughout the rest of my projects. It's just for this particular one, I'm only using turbo fuel for. This is the only thing I'm using turbo fuel drones for. Is it seriously not going to show me how much I need? That's kind of annoying, actually. Is there some sort of calculator I can try and use? Let's go drones satisfactory. So this is 25 meters per second, and I'm going 2,700. So I suppose I can calculate time, right? So 2,700 divided by 25? 30. So 90, that's 90 seconds. A minute and a half it's going to take me to go from point A to point B. That doesn't include landing, I don't think. In fact, maybe someone in the chat knows this better than me. Does this time include landing? I suppose it doesn't. That's just talking about pure speed. Did you set destination on the platform panel? Yes. Distance, destination. I think I've done that right. Yeah, trip costs 0 per minute. If only there was a way I could have like 100... Wait. There is a way. If I spend a couple coupons and just purchase a bunch of turbo fuel... Do I really want to do that though? Oh, I can't even do that, really? Why can't I do that? Have I unlocked turbo fuel? Because sometimes that's a thing that you have to unlock, isn't it? Yeah. So I now need 50 packaged fuel. Oh, this is just not worth it. What's that? Compact coal. In theory, I haven't even unlocked compact coal. Let's do that first, then. Right, let's just... Yeah, that's good enough. Now, how am I going to get 50 packaged fuel? Well, I know how, I just don't know if I want to do it. Right. Have I got enough canisters? Probably not, so I need plastic. Oh, dearie me. Is this even remotely worth it? I suppose it is, yes. That should be good enough. Then just make a bunch of compact coal. So I've probably got lying around somewhere, if I'm honest. Nice. Do. I have got a hard drive, but I think I've got to actually take it out of my inventory. Okay. How about now? There we go. Now I've got to go over to make my fuel.
It is physically smaller and more powerful, but its carbon footprint remains enormous. This fuel upgrade can be used in coal-powered generators and vehicles.
Can I not make compact coal there? I swear you can make compact coal in here. What? Okay. Apparently I can't. Sure. What of all this then? I definitely thought I could. Oh well. So I don't need you to go over there. I don't need you to go into here. There we go. A couple bursts of this and it should be okay. That's, I think, 10 per one, isn't it? Yeah. It might have been 30, but you know what? Good enough. guess let's unlock turbo fuel today then. And regarding our packaged fuel, I suppose let's make our canisters first. I know how I'm going to end up doing that. It's just a bit of a hassle, really, that's all. And in total, I'm most likely going to end up needing 100, maybe in total. Maybe even a bit more, because by the time that I've packaged the turbo fuel, I will end up using summer sloops for this, by the way, when I fully make my many thousands of these empty canisters. But as of right now, it doesn't really matter. There we go. I should already have things like packages unlocked, right? I would hope. Oh dear. Again, thank you very much to everyone who's watching the stream today. Hope that everyone's doing well. I won't be live tomorrow, but Thursday, if you guys are interested, I will be live on some more Satisfactory. So feel free to stick around if you guys are interested in Satisfactory content. I don't know if there's anyone new watching the stream, but if there is, then yeah, welcome. And this is where I'm planning on building a few more of my drone ports, although I don't think it's even going to be enough now. The problem is, by the time I actually collect all of this fuel, it's now going to mean that I won't have enough fuel for all my generators, which is really annoying. It took me ages to have enough fuel. Oh well, there's nothing I can really do about that. No. The last thing that I'm then going to need for this, at least, is you. So luckily, that's less than 10 meters, so we should be alright. Get our summer sloop. No, we can't use a summer sloop, I just said that. That's 40 per minute, though. Oh, come on, man. So we're actually getting 0 fuel up here. Really? I suppose I'll turn you off. I'll also turn this off here as well. Is that a bit better? Nope, still nothing. Okay. Why? Let that go down to about 30. Be 50 in there by now? 70, lovely, okay. So none of our fuel is actually getting here. But it gets to here. Okay. Why? Maybe if I chuck one of these into here, a slightly better one maybe. This shouldn't make any sort of difference, but let's just see. Nice. It's all going good today. Not a single thing in this entire part of the factory is available. Not a one. And whenever I do try and remove one of the wires, it then lags my game. Nice. I don't even know how that's even possible, but fair enough. We're now reds. That's fine. We've got 0 fuel. You are starting to fill up though. So now it's a question of when are you going to go from there to there? That pipe The pump at least should help us. No, you've locked into the wrong place. You've actually gone the opposite direction. So do you come around here? No, you don't. Can I try lowering this down? I don't know what's happening. I mean, we've clearly got stuff in here. So it should be working, but it's just completely refusing to. You're wrong, because you're the wrong way. Okay. Let's try this again. Oh, now you're too high up. It should have worked 5 minutes ago. Just messing around now at this point, really. Okay. Do the power again. Finally, you're actually functioning. No way. I don't really need too much of you lot. That took ages just to try and do that. So eventually we are also going to have to try and package some of our turbo fuel, which is what I'm a bit concerned about, because I can unlock turbo fuel, but I can't really make it. That's why I'm thinking about buying it. Just a stack, just to try and see how much I actually need. Stop. That's good, at least got that out of the way with. I should now be able to turn you guys back on. Same with this. Great. It's best to run a drone in-game and calculate from there. What do you think I've spent the last 20 minutes trying to? Thank you though for the suggestion. That is literally what I am doing. I can't run a drone on a resource I haven't got, can I? Sulfur, there we go. I think this is where I unlock the rocket fuel and ionized fuel. I don't really care too much about ionized fuel. Although eventually I will get
Turbo
the
fuel unlocked.
rocket fuel unlocked.
This upgrade to regular fuel is
If I was to make packaged turbo fuel, I'm not going to have the alt unlocked, which is actually something I have to go and research eventually. Although I can do... I am making the fuel down there. I can make the compact core. I've actually got enough compact core. Maybe I don't actually have to buy any just for this particular stage. I'm going to need quite a lot more compact core though. So let's just chuck that into there and that. There we go. Wait a few moments for this and we'll head back over. That's actually not too bad. So we've now managed to sort that problem out. All I'm trying to do now is to get a stack of turbo fuel, 100 turbo fuel. I'll then come up here and then chuck it into the drone. When I chuck it into the drone, it should then show me the exact amount of turbo fuel that I need to go from here to here. And that's 2,700 meters. So in theory, all that I then have to do is, let's say it's 100. Divide the 2,700 meters by the 100 turbo fuel. I could then get a rough estimate of how much fuel I need per distance, per meter, per 100 meters, whatever I'm going to try and calculate it to. After that, I can then figure out the rough location of where my drones are going to be, how many drones I'm going to need, and roughly how far away they are, calculate the exact amount of turbo fuel that I'm going to need for my drones, and whatever is left over, I can either burn it, or, like, for power reasons, or I could then use that to make my diamond recipe, because you can make diamonds with turbo fuel. It saves you a bunch of coal, I think it is. So I'm going to have multiple possibilities that I can then try and do with that. So that's currently my reasoning as to what I have done as of right now. How are you coming along? Very good, actually. There we go. I have got some resources on me that I don't actually want, so let me try and upload them. I can get rid of a few of them as well. Make things a little bit easier for us. Nice. No. That's slightly better. Have I got enough packages? Canisters? I think I do. Okay, so the only thing I'm going to need now is just a stack of... Is it fuel? Need packaged fuel. Let's just go with however much I've got, then make more canisters if I have to. That's the easiest way to do this. Overall, though, it's not necessarily a difficult concept. It's just trying to make sure that everything's functional, whilst not breaking what I've currently got as well. Like, if I was to check my power grid right now, it's fine. I know it's dipping down a little bit, and I don't know why it's doing that. I also don't think it's anything to do with our fuel area, necessarily. Although I can double check that theory. Yeah, see? Oh, dearie me. I think I've sneezed at least 20 times so far. I'm definitely not well, unfortunately. So I suppose it might be a good thing that I'm taking tomorrow off. Let's be relaxed and recover a little bit. That's looking about as what I thought it would look like. Again, we'll turn that off. I'll then turn this off. Which means I should have enough fuel here now to do what I was just doing before. But now I know exactly how I'm going to end up doing it, so this shouldn't take too long. There. There we go. Again, select this. And you should be able to go straight down. Yep. You can then connect to there. You should then start to enter this thing pretty quickly, which indeed it has. Stuff all of you lot into there. In the meantime, as that's doing whatever the heck it needs to do, I'm then going to plop down one of our crafting benches, where I'm then planning to make a bunch more of these empty canisters. Also, I am going to do some empty fluid tanks as well for the packaged nitrogen gas, if I am going to end up packaging it, but I don't think I necessarily need to. I am still a little bit concerned, though, regarding our sulfur, because I still need quite a lot more sulfur than what I've currently got coming in, and even after calculating all the additional sulfur I could be collecting, it's still not quite enough, which is again a bit of a concern. So, I think what I'm going to end up doing is getting a bunch of sulfur in my playthrough. I think there's some down here, isn't there? And then just yeeting it across with a drone, which will be a lot further away than the others, but I can just have multiple different drones there, and that shouldn't be a massive problem. How much packaged fuel did I need? Let's go for about 100 and see where we end up. Maybe stop a couple more of these as well, just so I don't have a constant state of fuel coming in. There we go. You're consuming 20 fuel per minute. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. I should now have, in theory, 80 fuel per minute coming into here. I only need 40, and apparently I still haven't got enough. The maths doesn't really make sense there. There we go. That seems a little bit better. Sense of humor, yeah. Thing is, I'm doing it quite a complicated way. I could have just bought packaged fuel from the Awesome Shop using coupons, but I don't really want to do that because I feel like that's just a massive waste of coupons when I didn't really need to waste them. I'll try that. It's going to stop almost instantly, but it's fine. Go. A few more left to go now. It's going up surprisingly fast, in all honesty. That's 98, so let's go for a little bit more, because I don't know what the ratios actually are. Can I actually make this thing here? No. Okay. Right, so how do I actually make this then? Packaged turbo fuel. For that I have to make turbo fuel. Oh, right, so I've actually got to unpackage it. In that case, stop this for just a second. Let me try this. Production, refinery. I'm also not massively concerned if it doesn't look very neat. I don't want it to look neat, I just want it to work. As of right now, this is only extremely temporary. That's better, that's what I needed to do. So fuel-wise, you should be starting to come in by now. But you're not. Have I got to seriously lower you down again? You're going up by about a meter. How do I have to lower you down? None of you is actually coming out here. Oh, now you are. Oh, come on. What is that? There we go. We'll be here for an hour at this rate. Bloody hell. Why are you so slow? You're actually building... Are you seriously needing, like, another pump? You're going about 4 yards. Difficult. Bloody hell. Oh, you need compact coal, don't you? Yeah, of course. Should be all of that. Good. And all of your turbo fuel then has to come over here to the packager. Okay. To be fair, if I can get this done, it's a good bit of maths off my shoulders. So I won't say no to it. That's a lot better. There we go. Pumps only for head lift. You shouldn't need it. Well, that's what I was thinking, but nothing was going in there, but now it's all going into here. So it seemed to have massively helped. Head lift 2.4 meters. So I shouldn't have needed it at all. Yeah, apparently it's made a massive amount of difference. I don't really understand that, if I'm honest. Because in theory, yes, you are right. Let's get 200 into here. No. What? Oh, no power. Okay, fair enough. That should be a little bit better now. By this bit better, I mean, like, actually functional. In theory, I could use a Somer's loop there, but... let's see. No. There's no point. We'll just let this function now. And in the meantime, again, we'll make some more empty canisters. In theory, all I actually need is 100 turbo fuel, but I'm making 200 just in case something goes wrong. I'm really hoping that going from here to... where is it? Here. I know it's quite a significant way. In fact, that's basically half the map. I'm really, really hoping that doesn't require more than, let's say, 70 package... no, sorry, cancel that. 70 turbo fuel. I really hope it doesn't require more than 70. There and back, by the way. Like, not just here to here, but as in here, back to there. So I had a drone previously going from here, somewhere, where was it? Roughly here, to here, which I think was a very similar sort of distance. I think that required almost 100 fuel per minute. But it didn't refuel over here, only refueled over there, so it used like 50 to get here, then 50 to get back. In theory, this idea should actually work rather well, because obviously I can't refuel from a different area. Well, I can, but it's a lot more complicated. So preferably less than 50 turbo fuel to go from point A to point B, and an additional 50 to go from point B to point A. That's the plan. It's looking pretty good so far, though. Looks like a valve, maybe. Yeah. It's one of those things where it's worked, and I'm surprised it's worked, but it's worked. So I'm just gonna leave it as that. I'm not gonna question the logic behind it. It's a bit like knowing something's broken, putting a bit of sellotape over it, and thinking, you know what, that's gonna hold. Even though you are questioning how on earth it's gonna hold. But it's holding though, so you don't want to question it too much. If it ain't broke. Yeah, we've got about 76 more empty canisters to go. Which is fantastic. I'm actually gonna... no. I was gonna keep this here, but I don't really see the points as of right now. In fact, I'll keep it, but I'll disconnect this particular pipe. I'll keep that there as well. I'll turn all these back on. Regarding this area, I mean, since I'm here, I might as well talk a bit more about it. This is where I was going to have a few of my drone ports. Because I believe from here we had the... what was it? 1 normal, 2 impure nodes? Or was it 2 normal, 2 impure? I think it was the latter. 2 normal, 2 impure. Right, so that is 12 drone ports in this area. It's a ridiculous amount. Although, to be fair, it did say it took 90 seconds to go from here to there. And the distance here is a little bit shorter. But let's still say 90 seconds. That doesn't include taking off and landing, I don't think. A minute and a half there, a minute and a half back. That's 3 minutes. No, I need to. In theory, I could probably get away with 3 drone ports, but multiple different drones. Because again, I don't really use much drones, so do correct me if I am wrong here, chat. But can I have multiple drones going to the same drone port? Like, can I have 4 different drones just coming to here, and then eventually they're queuing up on top of it? Is that how it works? Like, these stack on top of the drone ports until one takes off, then it can land? Because if that's the case, that's what I'll end up doing, I think. Oh, that's cool. Wait, it's Since when has that been in the game? You can see the amount of stuff inside the drone port and the amount of air that's going to be leaving it. That's a really cool feature now. I had no idea that was even in the game. That is how it works? Oh, okay. Nice. So I think I'd end up doing that then. Rather than having like 26 drone ports, I'll have a lot less. That should be okay. I'll take that now. Get rid of that, then turn all of this back on. Lovely. So, we should now be able to conduct our little experiment, which I say little experiment is taking about 45 minutes. This music is going to drive me insane. Let's see. If I go back over to that drone port, fill up the drone, and again, the number we are looking for preferably is under 50. If it's under 50, then that's just good. Unless it's per cycle. If it's like per cycle, then under 100 is what we're looking for. If it's more than 100, we are essentially screwed. So this is round trip time. That's a good idea. Oh. So it's going to take 3.5 minutes per trip. And it's only going to consume 29. Although saying that, that's taken a lot more than just 29. Because that's... I'm going to get chucked off this drone in a second, aren't I? 36. That's just taken 41 turbo fuel. But it's just told me that needs 29. Then it's 8.12 per minute. So is this just going to stay the same? Like, no matter which drone port's going to where, is it always going to be 8.12 per minute? Because if so, that's completely fine. Takeoff landing delay can throw... yeah. All pairs of drone ports. I think I might have to as well, yeah. But either way, 3.5 minutes per cycle. That's good to know. In fact, the drone's already there, so that's definitely 3.5 minutes then. Okay. And let's say at the worst of times, we are going to have 300 fuel being filled up. So I think what we're going to do is have 2 drones per 300 crude oil cluster. If that makes sense. So one 300 normal node will require 2 drones. But not necessarily... two drone separate ports. Makes no sense. Yeah, okay. Although I am still going to need an extra one of these though for the empty canisters. Because when you come back, you'll then be carrying fuel. The only thing you are carrying is crude oil. Sorry, crude oil. Then I need to try and get my... actually, no, you won't be. You'll be carrying packaged crude oil. So then eventually you'll then get unpackaged somewhere over there. But the thing is, I didn't want to do this. This is what I was trying to avoid with not using trains. Oh well. You then get here somewhere. You stick out quite a lot over the edge there. So now it's a question of, can I even fit these here? I think eventually yes. I might have to make this half the foundation wider on each side, but that's doable. I need like 20 seconds to think here. Right, that was less than 20 seconds. Still, I think what we're going to have to end up doing is all of these drone ports on top of here are going to be our crude oil coming in. Then we're going to have separate drone ports that... then get our empty canisters into the drone ports. Holy, did you just do a flip? And then get our empty canisters into our drone ports for it then to leave. I now want to double check how much fuel are you going to take, because in theory, it shouldn't be that much. It should only be, what is it? 45? That's about right, actually, isn't it? That is about right. Okay. I think this test was a success. I think it was. I need some things to think about now off camera. It definitely has given me quite a lot to think about. Let's see. Firstly, regarding this, how am I going to get my resources down? I think what I'm going to try and end up doing to begin with is have you come up by an additional 4. Have another floor here. We are then going to have a very minor logistics floor here. As you know me, I can't just not do a logistics floor. I then did say that I wanted to come out by about half a foundation. I suppose this could be the point that I do it. Let me just select my hover pack. I do want to try and get this blueprint at least sorted mentally before I end the stream, which won't be for another while yet. Again, half a foundation here, which is a bit difficult to actually do. One, 2, 3, 4. By about that much. Which, to be honest, gives it a very unique shape. I just don't want it to look uniquely shit. Which is a bit of a concern. One, 2, 3, 4. Let's try this. No. I mean, it's a little bit more room, I suppose. So that's not bad. You are then going to need this. I am going to need therapy after today's stream. All part of the fun, though. How is the shape actually going to end up looking? That's another concern. How is it going to look? Let alone how is it going to function, which is a whole other thing. Like, do I actually need this here? I don't think so. No, not really. Okay. So, looks-wise, it's going to be an interesting one. But, keep it to that. Yeah, how's everyone doing today, by the way? Hope everyone is doing well watching today's live stream. Quite a difficult little maths problem that we just solved there. But solved it, we did. Great. Go. A couple of these. Are you facing the right way? You are. Yes. Lovely. Although you're not actually in the correct location. Why is that? I know why. One of these here is wrong. Yes. It's you. Still feels a bit weird being back home after not being here for a couple of weeks. Because on one hand, nothing's changed, whilst on the other, a lot has. just trying to get back into my regular routine. So I won't begin for very long. And again, there's a video coming out about that. Yeah. Are you gonna snap on nicely? No, you seem to really not want to just snap. Yeah. The good news is, this should now be more than enough room for what I actually need. Are you guys all facing the right way? Nope. In fact, that's actually an interesting idea. What if I had something like this? With a unique pattern here. Why not? If this even works, I've got no idea. Like this. Well, I mean, it should have. Although it's not going to the one area I need it to go to. There. Customization already applied. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. That all works now. That's good. I suppose what I'll do here is this. In fact, do I actually need anything down here? I go for something maybe a bit unique. Well, that is unique, but it just happens to be uniquely crap. So let's not do that. Okay, we'll keep it like that for now. And again, select our drone port, which is going to be... You know what? A bit of a laugh. Search it over there. Have I established which way is actually forwards yet? I suppose it would be here. That should be roughly the middle, I think. Yeah, it's a pretty tight squeeze, but I think we can make it work. Bring you forwards by a couple. Now, you are pretty central. Yes, I don't mind that. You may be a problem. Guess we'll find out in just a moment. In fact, you most certainly will be a problem. Because of this. There we go. From generation helps. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised. Sorry, my chat just turned off there for a second. Hopefully I didn't miss any messages. So you're going to stick out. That's the problem that I thought would have. You are also going to stick out. Right. What I could do is this. How would this look? That looks really bad. Is there a way I can somewhat redeem this? There will be, yeah. There's a will, there's a way. All that jazz. Nice. Nice, just the timing, the luck and everything on that is just mad. And chuck that into here. So we can do the sides for this at least. Not a massive fan of these corner ones. Now this is sticking out. Oh dear. I mean, we have got some concept going on here. It's one way to look at it. It's like, yeah, this has potential. I'm trying to find it. Which is a lot easier said than done. It is here somewhere. It is. What if I had ramps going in the other way? I don't mind the way this necessarily looks. I feel like it needs more. No. That just wouldn't make sense. One, two, three, four. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now that's the little gap that we've got. Is there a way that I can somehow manage to fill this in? No, that's the inverted one. There's no way this will work. No, it's too big. What if I just painted it in? Pretended like it wasn't there. But it very clearly is there. I've given myself a bit of an interesting problem to try and solve now. It does look a little bit dark in here as well. I don't know if I dislike that though. It looks a bit dark. How about this? Saying that as I add darker things to it. In fact, here's the idea, I think. This is what I'm going to try. Making very careful assurance here that I don't get rid of anything that I need. That. What if I just select this? Where is it? It's foundations. But rather than the 4 meter, we'll go 1 meter. This. That will work. I think. I've done worse at least. Okay. You can barely even see it dipping down there, but dip it does. Dip it do be doing. Oh dear. The next plan was to then do this, the frame wall. We could do it there. I'd rather it not actually be out by that much. There we go. Have a bunch of logistics going on in there, which should be fine. I believe, have you come around over there? And just for now, I'll bring you over to there. That out by enough? Should be by about half a foundation. That is correct, I think. Yes. Okay. This is now starting to work a little bit, which, I mean, helps by this stage of the stream. This is for fuel. Am I going to be fueling up from here? Yes. But you're not going to... Wait. Yeah. No, I do need to fuel from here, actually. Then again, because you'll be at the very top here, the only thing you'll be doing is bringing in crude oil. Packaged crude oil. The name is packaged. Sorry, the name is crude oil. Packaged crude oil. Anyway. I'm still trying to meme around. There has to be at least a couple meme images a day. Now again, another problem is, this is where I'll be walking. If I just try and plop in this corner right here, actually. Where is it? Okay, well, you're out by too far. You can do that. What is going on with our pipes? Let's just try this then. That's now lined up. You are off by 5 clicks. I suppose in theory, you can just walk around here. I don't actually need that there. I would have to redesign this particular area though. I can't be having that. So you'll come through to here. Straight down like that. Then have a wall here and a wall here. Why is that there? Like it's literally just that one wall. Oh right, yeah, because I haven't done the actual interior of that. That's fine, okay. So I can bring this down. That won't be a massive problem. Where's the middle? You're the middle. On that side. You're the middle on this side. Well, then just come straight down to there. Okay, wow, that actually works out rather nicely in the end. You say to around there. That shouldn't be too bad. This might have to change. In fact, it is changing. That. Now what I can try and do, not today, but finish the exterior around here. That would be the very first. Actually, I might even do that off camera if I'm honest with you. Finish that. Just finish this corner blueprints. Make sure I get that squared away. Maybe by the start of Thursday's stream. And I've got 2 days now just to basically chill. So that's what I will be doing. I can't really stream tomorrow. I know. Don't cry. Don't cry. It's okay. But regardless, I think that is where I'm going to leave it for today, because I just have things to get done. And we've been live now for almost 3 hours. I would have actually streamed for a little bit longer if I had the time, but fortunately time wasn't that kind to us today. Let's try and get a nice little cinematic shot here. I think overall though, the idea of having these drone ports up here could be good. It depends how it's going to end up looking, which again is something I will be sorting out tomorrow. If you guys did end up enjoying this stream, you might want to subscribe. You don't have to. I mean, it's not really worth it if I'm honest. But yeah, it's always there if you guys really did end up enjoying it. To everyone watching on Twitch, thank you. And to everyone watching on YouTube, thank you as well. Because we managed to achieve 4 likes on today's stream. That's very kind. Thank you very much. I think the like target was 5. But we got 4 there, so that's pretty cool. Either way, thank you for watching. Have an amazing rest of your day, everyone. And I'll see you on the next stream, whenever that may be. Goodbye.